What's going on, everybody? Stabs here. Welcome back to another of my videos. Today we're going to be talking about an actual story that happened one year on Halloween. It's a pretty interesting story, so I hope you guys enjoy. And I don't really have anything else to say, let's just get right into the story. And I'm probably going to try and explain it as best as I can, but let's just see how this goes. So this basically took place last year. And I'm gonna basically try and explain this in the best way possible, in the order that everything actually happens, because it usually happens like this every single year. So let me just try and see if that's the best way that I can actually try and explain it. So basically how this happened was, I'm not sure if it was a Thursday or Friday, but I remember having school, and usually what we do is when it's Halloween, after school we come right home, and we get our Halloween costumes and our bags or whatever. We usually use pillowcases because they're a lot bigger. And my cousin Lawrence actually picks us up from our house, and there's this little housing complex, I'd say probably 2 miles from my house, and we go trick-or-treating there. Well, I wouldn't really say trick-or-treating because we just go there to pick up some of Lawrence's friends. And usually that's Eli and Antonio. We actually hang out with those kids a lot. Those kids are pretty funny, but they're also that kind of stupid funny where you just want to hang out with them because they do a lot of stupid stuff. And we usually just go there to pick them up. And it was everything like a normal Halloween. Every time we get out of school, we just got there. We pick them up, and we usually take this back road to go next to these houses. It's a path that we always take every year. It's usually in like the woods. I don't really know how to explain it. But we cut through there, and we get to the kind of section of the town where it's all kind of the same houses. So once we get there, that's where we usually do our trick-or-treating and things like that. And we usually go for like an hour, maybe 2 hours, until it kind of starts getting dark. And then what we usually just try and do on Halloween is, I'm usually the one that walks ahead of everybody else because they usually trick-or-treat at other houses, and I'm the type to just keep walking, and then when I see a bowl, I run straight to the house. I don't say anything, and I just take the complete bowl. And obviously you guys would be the type to hate those type of people, but you know, candy's candy, my man. The faster you can get it, the better it is. And especially since they don't know, you know, you guys aren't arguing about who's getting more candy and things like that. Whatever's in the bowl, you're taking it. And once we finish trick-or-treating there, like I said, we usually go for an hour, 2 hours. And when it starts getting dark, we head back to that path, and then this is when all the fun, depending on the type of person and what you kind of define as fun, this is when it all starts to happen. Alright, so we actually came back to that little apartment complex that's near my house, and we got there, and usually we go and try and round up as much friends as we can, but 2 of them actually moved away this year, so we couldn't get them. But last year we had them, and we were waiting for them on top of a hill that's usually at the entrance of the actual complex. And while we were waiting for them to come, this random kid comes behind us, and he's like, "You guys want to go egging?" And I usually don't say anything, but one of the kids, I don't know if it was Eli, Antonio, or Lawrence, they were like, "Hell yeah!" And the kid comes back with a full carton of eggs, and I'm over here like, "Oh boy, shit's about to go down." And in that complex, there's kind of like 2 little, I guess you could say 2 mini complexes in that one big one. And we went behind, and where there's usually a lot less people, and we started egging houses there. And it's funny how it started off, because the first one was thrown by Lawrence, and it was just completely unexpected because the kid just gave Lawrence a random egg, and nobody else was paying attention. And I remember everyone being scared to throw the first one. I remember I didn't throw a single one, neither did my brother, but he threw the first one while everyone was talking and things like that, and all you hear is a loud crack, and for a split millisecond all you see is the family of the house that he threw it in. He threw it in right on the open window. I remember their curtains being wide open, and the family was eating dinner right in the room, and it was completely hilarious. I mean, we tried to run, but we only got probably like 100 or 200 yards before we were all gassed out, because all you heard while we were laughing was, while we were running, was everybody laughing, and it was completely hysterical, and it was just the best thing ever. And then while we were running, everyone started laughing more and more and more because that one random kid that came that actually gave us the eggs, all you hear is crack, crack, crack on every single door that we passed by. And I remember one of the last houses that we actually got to before we actually stopped was I remember the guy was actually outside of his door, and he went to go open his door, and the egg flew into his house, and that must have been a pain in the ass to actually clean up. But I cannot explain to you guys how much we were laughing, because like I said, as we were running, all you heard was eggs cracking on doors and windows, and it was the funnest thing ever. There was this one guy that he screamed at us, and we just dipped as fast as we can out of there. It was the funnest thing ever. So after we ran out of there, we kind of went to the other mini complex right by it, and we kind of started walking there. We tried acting like natural, and out of nowhere we see 2 police cars come, because I can guarantee you one of those guys called the cops, one that yelled at us. And we just acting like natural. We went to go find the random bunch of guys and try and blend in with them, and they started trying to take our candy, so we left them. They were probably 18 or 19 years old at the time, and so we got away from them, and we just saw 2-3 police cars go into the place where our friends were egging the houses, and it was the scariest thing ever. We were all wearing black, so we were trying to stay in the dark, like in the bushes, because there's a lot of trees and bushes and stuff over there, and if you're wearing all black, you kind of blend in really nicely, and it was, I'm never gonna forget that moment. But we waited a couple minutes to make sure that there weren't any other police cars coming through, so we stayed hidden for about 5 minutes, and near that complex there's kind of like a little shopping mall, and there's a Quick Check there. So once we waited for the police cars to kind of go away, we just ran there as fast as we can, just to make sure that, and made sure that there wasn't any police cars behind us, because that would have looked really suspicious coming from my end. So I mean, coming from a police car, that would have just red flags everywhere. But we basically ran to that Quick Check, sat down. I remember seeing police cars just still passing all over the place in the street, the main road, and we're over there just sitting. We were eating some candy, and I called my mom to come pick us up so we could get the hell out of there. And it was definitely the funnest thing that I probably ever did with those kids and my cousin. But once we got home, I'm pretty sure Lawrence was sleeping over that day, so I'm pretty sure it was a Friday. Either that or his mom came to pick him up after. But like I said, it was the funniest thing that ever happened, and probably my most memorable story that I'll probably ever say on this channel. But hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to hear other stories, let me know, and I'll try and come up with some type of topic. Just say something in the comments, and I'll try and explain it as best as I can. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on social media links down in the description below. This was actually a really fun video to make, and I will see you guys next time.